Alright, that's enough. That's enough. You can cut it off. This is a presentation of DNN News, bringing you the news as we allow it. I'm Lib Tardington, and tonight's broadcast is brought to you by this tone of voice. This tone of voice, perfect for news. Our top story tonight, longtime internet prodigy super comedians Drew and Shane of Drew and Shane's Not Worth It podcast have fallen victim to their fame, as we have now learned that they were preparing for their episode 10 spectacular when tragedy struck. Drew was last seen feeding the dead mermaids prior to the extravaganza. We aren't sure how or when, but he was clearly abducted, as we all saw last night, him being tortured on a hijacked live DNN broadcast. The terrorist was seen gluing him to a chair and forcing him to watch Amy Schumer stand-up videos, whilst screaming at him the lyrics to Yankee Doodle Dandy, which was also clearly not funny. All of the DNN family's thoughts and prayers are with Drew at this horrific time. And this morning, Shane was found dead in a large vat in his home's basement, wearing a leather gimp suit with a ball gag in his mouth. The vat contained about 4 foot of soapy water, his wife's dirty panties, dirty socks, and a couple of pairs of muddy jeans. There's no word yet from our insiders on whether or not those were in fact Wranglers. Also, an oversized t-shirt was found in the vat, clearly obtained from a Drew and Shane Not Worth It picnic charity event back in 2013. His wife had this to say, quote, "Yeah, we were just messing around laundry style, and when we hit the spin cycle, he went down. I dropped many a load on his face and back over the years, and he took it all like a champ. I guess right down to his soapy, watery grave. God, I love that man. Hashtag praise Keck. We're currently suing Snuggle Bear for his various temperatured soups and various size beds. Shane leaves behind a wife, an amazing legacy, and a 10 terabyte meme lord level meme vault full of dank memes." We interviewed his neighbor, and he had this to say.
"Oh, I remember Shane when he was but a small boy and then grew up into a very large man, and I would sort of wave to him every day and say, 'Hey Shane, how you doing?' And he would sort of wave back and continue peeling weeds in his front yard, and I would sort of stare at his ass and, just a large, sexy man. And, hey, what are you doing? Give me the... Hey!
Heart-wrenching. Absolutely heart-wrenching. You'd have to be a communist not to shed a tear at that. DNN has learned that Drew and Shane's former studio will be converted into a comedy center for the humorly retarded and the clinically unfunny. While we know there are no cures, they vow to strive every day to find one. Also, I'm told everything inside will be written in Comic Sans. But right now we have breaking news. I take us now to Anita McDicking. She's in the DNN stealth copter. Anita, what's going on out there?
Thank you, Lib. This is Anita McDicking, and I'm here on the corner of 3rd and Winslow Street, where a .22 caliber handgun has been found, laying casually on the ground. Locals have begun to fear for their lives as they feel that the gun is racially motivated. It clearly wants everyone around them dead. And it also appears to be mentally unstable. Most .22 caliber handguns, our sources are telling us, have been known to be violent and wish to kill everyone around them for the sake of their own gain. This is a developing story. The police have been notified, and we will be updating you periodically with the details. Lib?
Wow. Riveting stuff, Anita. This is clearly overshadowing today's big story of the patriot himself, Seth Rich. I'm being told to quit talking about that. Looking now to the President of the United States, We all know he was in town today, where he stopped at Mary Lou's Steak Escort and Lube Station, where we have learned from insiders and outsiders that Mr. President put ketchup on his steak. Of course, this naturally sparked a nationwide debate and uproar on all social media platforms. Tweets and posts were coming in at a rate of 9,000 posts per every half second. Twitter reported 9 billion responses before their servers' houses burnt to the ground. Some even burnt underground, I'm learning. If you yourself have Twitter thumb, report to a pediatrician where you will be given a Band-Aid solution that will require continued treatments, thus raking in billions for big pharma and a little bit for little pharma. Tune into DNN2 for a live 24/7 debate in hashtag KetchupGate and hashtag TopKek, where we discuss if it is worthy of impeachment or capital punishment, or some say lowercase punishment. In other news, you may have noticed those red clouds in the sky. We take you now live on the DNN weather porch. Umbutta. How's it looking, Umbutta?
First of all, the name is Umbutu, and you are showing very good sign of disrespect. Kiss Lil Butu.
I'm actually in another room. That's a screen.
Thank you, Lib. So, everybody, if you turn around and look outside, nobody needs to be the weatherman. There's not but one weatherman. It is inside of each and every one of you. Now, if you do not repent right now at this very second, I have emailed all of you and regular mailed all of you Lil Butu shrunken heads for all of you to kiss. The apocalypse is coming. We are all going to die. There's a 90% chance of ash and fire and brimstone and really repetitive jokes that all of you love to be told over and over again and be run into the ground like the dead 4 horsemen that are coming.
I'm gonna cut you off. We take you now to our freshman 18-year-old just off the casting couch intern meteorologist Sharon Cox. Sharon, how's the weekend look?
I don't think you're ready for the weekend yet, so I'm gonna warm you up with a little bit of Monday. There's a 5-day weather forecast because there's 5 days in a week. So I'm gonna start us off with a good old Monday. Monday, it looks like Florida's gonna get nailed by a big old Richard. And by a big old Richard, I mean a big old hurricane dick. It's just gonna sort of show up and just lay waste to all those guys down there, you know. Later tonight here in the local area, there's gonna be like a 99% chance of moisture, which is basically gonna cause massive floods all over my bed and kind of on the floor. So make sure to bring your floaties and your water wings and maybe even a snorkel too. That would be fantastic. You've got to bring protection, you know, goggles. Yeah. Wink. So Wednesday's gonna be really, really hot. So, and sweaty after that. So you guys might want to like open a window and like have a smoke on the house or something, because God, Tuesday and Monday night is just gonna be so rough. Won't be able to walk for like 9 days after that. So we skipped Thursday because DNN does not recognize Thursday as like a real week anymore. So Friday, there's just gonna be some badass thunderstorms later that are really just gonna, you know, rock the fuck out of my bed. Just hard and over again, just huge clapping of thunder and all that kind of good stuff. Oh my God, I'm gonna open a window right now. It's so hot. Friday's gonna be too hot. I'm sorry. They're shaking their heads. No, I'm not supposed to say the F word. So I'm gonna move on to Saturday or Sunday, whichever one comes after Friday. I can never remember. So we're gonna say Saturday. This is a hunch. There's gonna be some really, really strong winds, which is really going to benefit everyone within 20 miles of me because they're just going to get blown so fucking hard. It's going to be crazy. So Sunday, which is the day like Jesus, when he was a baby, he would rest when he built the whole earth out of wood. There's gonna be a 105% chance of snow, which is kind of weird because it's July, you know. So it's gonna snow on Sunday, and it's gonna snow all over my cleave, and hopefully all over my feet if you're lucky. Isn't that right, Lib? Back to you.
What? Now to sports with Chuck. Chuck, I understand you're downtown tonight.
I am, but first I gotta talk about some other local pressing sports issues there, Lib, if you don't mind. First up on the docket, local semi-pro all-conference all-mute football team, the Howlers, have won their first national title this past weekend. And when asked how they did it, this was their response. All right, and in the 11th annual Boulder Extreme Frisbee Disc Golf Tournament, that took place this weekend. And just like the other 11 years of the sport, every single contestant won first place. I don't want anybody feeling left out there in that great city. Of course, this was followed by the annual celebration, which contained vegan water, ASPCA regulated dog parks, and positive energy. So, you know, it was a all right time. All right, now we're here at the Madison Square Garden, coming live here almost. And for the sake of this joke, Madison Square Garden is actually circular to avoid copyright infringement. Here we have Tough Buffington calling the first ever gender-neutral annual non-binary slugfest. It's a long name. They're working it out. They're working on a purse. We're not supposed to call it a purse. It's a merce, but not a bag, a mail carrier, something. It hasn't been decided yet. This is the first ever of its kind. Spectrum. So, without further ado, we're gonna take it away with Tough Buffington to announce the fight. Listen up, guys. Ladies and gentlemen and non-binary folk, in the gray corner, fighting out of the obnoxious city of Portland, weighing at enough to be in the heavyweight division, but not enough to be in the super heavyweight division, Bill Nye the Spectrum Rectum Guy! In the other gray corner, fighting out of the equally confusing city of San Francisco, weighing in at what we were told to identify as 220 pounds, the reigning and truly undisputed binary gender neutral champion of the world, Grinder, the attack helicopter, Jones! Alright, and that's it. That turns out to be it. Man, he's going to really have his hands full with that attack helicopter. We wish him the best of luck. We can't air any more of the fight because it turns out that DNN actually can't afford the fight. That $39.99 really got us. That's where they hit us where it hurt. So back to you, Lib.
That sure is a steep fee. Well, it turns out we have new developments in the hostage situation with Anita McDicking. Anita, what's going on down there?
Yes, it turns out there are new developments. The SWAT team has been called. He has demands. It is clearly a hostage crisis situation. Even though it's a 22 caliber handgun just laying on the sidewalk, it demands that there be more amendments added to the Constitution to include the word gun, mostly just because it likes the word gun. Also, it feels obligated to tell us that it needs to be placed in more schools and airports, because it feels more
bone-chilling, Anita. Absolutely bone-chilling journalism. Well, it appears that Anita has flown over to a Department of Corrections zoo just in the last 7 seconds I've been speaking for yet another animal birth. Anita, how was your journey to the zoo?
Yeah, it was really fast. So I'm here at the thanks, Lib, by the way. Anita here once again. Here at the local animal prison or zoo, as the teleprompter calls it. Another birth has happened. Of course, as Lib stated before, it turns out that the leopard, Lupita, has been carrying child for about 9 months now and has just delivered a healthy 9 pounds, 1 ounce dog. Ooh, so you really have to wonder what's going on behind closed doors. Back to you, Lib.
In the words of Jeff Goldblum from the docu-series Jurassic Park, life finds a way. Now I turn it over to my neglected, angry co-anchor, Doug Muff. What do you have for Americans tonight, Doug?
I'm glad I finally got to, say something. All right, better take a chance with this one. Uptown. Earlier today, uptown at a local elementary school, Schitt's Creek K through 8. That's Schitt's, Shidts, Creek K through 8, scrapped their yearly Christopher Columbus play for a more innovative and telling performance of Passion of the Christ. The school states they are in dire need of nails, 2x4s, a paternity test, fake blood, menstrual blood, the blood of the innocent, and about 30 years of persecution. Also, they state that if any Jesus Christ impersonating other Jesus Christ impersonators are available, that their performance in this Mel Gibson docu-franchise would greatly be appreciated. A side note here, Lib, that the musical score has been changed from Hot Cross Buns to In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida. So it should be a telling tale of the little wooden carpenter from Jerusalem. All right, and he hasn't said anything, so I'm going to keep my thunder going and steal it from the show. In entertainment news today, a lovable Disney superstar turned international porn sensation Pinocchio was arrested for a number of sexual assaults. This is a still developing story. However, our sources claim that he is already claiming insanity, and he's been snorting Ron Jeremy's penis-growing supplements, saying it's working. Local nasalologists disagree.
Sorry, Doug, but I have to keep scaring America. We have breaking developments in our geothermal nuclear mid-weekend crisis situation developing off of 3rd and Wenzel. Anita, what's going on down there right now?
Yes, it appears that things have turned hostile. The gun has moved a quarter of an inch because he does believe that the government has been following him. He looks highly paranoid, Lib. He also has one more demand of being included in the Pledge of Allegiance, mostly just being waved around in a classroom as the pledge is going on. A SWAT team has just arrived. It looks like a Tiananmen Square scenario. Tanks are here. A battleship is cruising down 4th Street right now as I speak. There appears to be alien aircraft floating above me. UFOs, saucers, sauce, A1. It's crazy. Iron Man is flying around. He's giving me a thumbs up. He's doing this V thing in front of his mouth. I don't quite understand what that means. Oh my god! The president! He's over there on a white horse! He's wearing metal armor! He's got a machine gun! And he's got a big white flag! Back to you, Lib!
That is, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Anita. A white flag? Our president waving a white flag? This is clearly the French president disguised as the American president. Those people are quitters. And signing off of DNN News tonight, remember all other news is fake news and will give you cancer. This has been Lib Tardington signing off.
Don't forget about me. This is Dr. Sir Paul Thatcherlish IV. Remember, Drew and Shane will return for a season 2 several months from now. And ready your chocolate starfishes. #buttstuff.
DNN would like to issue the following corrections to tonight's news broadcast. Correction 1, Drew and Shane never had a charity event of any kind. And correction 2, we are not news. Thank you, America.